start with Evan on the left.
Hey, Will, can you just kind of take us through last night, those two big innings, and then did you think in the dugout that there was any chance that you might go out for a third?
Yeah. I knew I was pretty efficient in the first inning, so I had the opportunity to go back out for the second, and then I think the competitor in me kind of took over, and I asked Skip if I could go back out, and of which he responded no pretty quickly. But passed the ball to Cater, and he did a phenomenal job, and we came out with a win.
Go Ryan.
Hey, Will, how you doing?
Yeah.
When you were here as a Rule 5 guy, you got your big league debut. How different are you as a pitcher now? But what did that experience of being here, getting big league innings, essentially coming off a year where you barely pitched in Double-A, and what did that mean to you, and how did it help you grow?
Yeah, I think you learn a lot in this game and in life from failure. I had some good successes that year, and I had some failure that year, and I learned a lot about myself, out on the field, and then also mentally in this game. And I think very rarely do you see guys come up to this league and succeed. If they do, it might be for a little stint, kind of like I did, and then they'll regress to the mean a little bit once the league figures them out. So there was just there was a lot of learning throughout that year for me, which I carry with me today, and I'm thankful for all those learning opportunities that I had.
Go Cody in the front.
Well, Kyle Finnegan's obviously been really big for you guys.
Oh,
what have you learned about him or appreciated about being his teammate since the deadline?
Oh, it's been awesome. I feel like we kind of mirror each other and just like our passion whenever we go out there. The guy gets out there and competes, man, and he's been doing it for a while, and predominantly been a closer and gets big outs and big moments during the game. And so, I love whenever I see him running out there. I know we've got a good chance.
Go to Dawn on the right.
Well, for people who maybe haven't seen this kind of untraditional bullpen roles, right? Like there's not a setup guy, there's not one closer. Can you explain to the outside what it's like to be part of that mix and know that maybe you get in the fifth, the seventh, the end? What's that like for you?
I think that's the common theme of our team. That's the makeup of our team is anybody can come in at any time on the offensive side and on in the pitching staff, and I think that's what makes us good is because we're unpredictable, Skip does a phenomenal job of reading the game, and he's said it in the past. He's like, you can lose a game in the seventh inning, so sometimes he doesn't save guys for specific pockets just to throw the ninth. He's like, if this guy matches up really well and the game's on the line in the seventh, I'm going to throw him in the seventh. And I think that just does a phenomenal job rather than having guys throw the seventh, eighth, and ninth. It's more about our particular matchups or where we are in that game in that moment.
And these guys that you're with in the bullpen, what makes them, what's so special about them that allows
no
Hinch to do
egos.
stuff?
There's not any egos on our team, which is it's fun to play with. The guys are just we celebrate the wins because we know it took everybody, and everybody played a part in that game, and so it's so rewarding after the games when you come in and we get to all celebrate together, and I think that's what makes this team special. Is it's just we're all one unit pulling in the same direction.
We'll go to Jeff on the left.
As somebody who thrives on adrenaline, what's it like pitching in that atmosphere last night? And can you hear it? Can you feel it? Can you not hear it?
Tell you what, this place was electric. It was fun. That's kind of what you dream of when you're growing up is playing in front of crowds like that, and it makes the game special. It was a little tough here, but PitchCom the playoffs, you got a little special tube that'll make it a little louder. But it's still the same game, just with a little added extra noise. So once you get on the mound, you kind of block it out, and it's just you and the catcher back there.
Jason in the middle.
I'm probably risking recency bias here since you guys have been on the road for so long, but as a late inning reliever, what's the difference in thriving off of a loud hostile crowd on the road compared to thriving on the crowd at home?
I don't know if there's necessarily a difference. I think it's just if you get your job done, it's the same reward whether you're at home or on the road. I would say they're both rewarding in just different ways. One is you've got the crowd cheering for you, which is a great feeling. Coming, I'll never forget. Finishing an inning last year at home with a strikeout and the crowd erupted, and it was awesome. I got full body chills, but it's also awesome on the flip side of quieting a crowd when you know that they're all going against you, and that's a rewarding in itself of hearing that crowd kind of go silent.
Go in the front, Cody.
I think it's 13 straight days on the road. What have been the challenges of that for you? Did you pack enough clothes? What else?
Laundry with toddlers, or a toddler learning how to use the bathroom. That's probably first day came in and did the laundry. But that's the chaos of it, and you kind of just embrace it, and that's what's fun. My my wife, after we won to Cleveland, she was just like, all right, on to Seattle, and I was like, could be another month of this. You got to strap it up. So they're used to it, and we are too. It's just kind of the lifestyle of this game, and that's what's kind of fun about it. You get to travel and see the whole country.
Go to Evan in the middle.
To go back to the Rule 5 question, I mean, obviously when the Mariners returned you to the Tigers, I think it was July of 2021, would you have ever anticipated that you would have thrown like 60 innings the next year, and then, fast forward to now and you're pitching in huge playoff games against the Mariners? Like, would you have ever thought that when they returned you?
Yeah, I remember that year, Jared Kelnick had come up, and he was a big prospect and struggled when he first came up, and he got sent down. And I remember Kyle Seager talking to him, and he had mentioned, listed out a few of the greats in the game and said, hey, this guy has been sent down. This guy has been sent down. And those guys turned out to be Hall of Famers. And so that always kind of stuck with me, where I was like, okay, like even the best of the best, when they come up, they struggle. So even though that was a low in my career of, getting sent back after being Rule 5, I didn't lose any faith in myself or where I think I could go in this game. I've always thought that I could, contribute at this level. And so, no, it didn't really alter me. I think guys, it's just the stigma of the Rule 5 was a little bit different. I had to get DFA'd. Guys get optioned all the time.
To follow up on that, I mean, even when you came back, you had gotten optioned, right? Like that was something that was still a part of your journey. I guess, what was that like, and when did you finally feel established in the big leagues?
Yeah, last year was actually a big year for me. 2024 was the first year in my professional career that I had never been demoted. Dating back to I got drafted in 2017. Didn't get demoted that year, but I played a half season, so I don't really count that one. But from 2018 through 2023, I had been demoted every year, which sucks at the time, but at the same time, like I was alluding to earlier, you learn from that, and you learn how to deal with adversity, and it honestly makes you resilient and strengthens your drive a little bit. That probably the toughest one, each one was the toughest one at that time. The toughest one was probably in 23. After coming a full season in the big leagues, I got optioned that year for one day. Somebody got hurt, so I got to come back up. But I still count that as I was demoted. So coming off of almost a full year of service time, just had a kid, and then find out, hey, you're going to AAA. So I'm living in a hotel room with a newborn and my wife, and we're living out of a truck, and it was tough. But I'm thankful for it because it really teaches you and makes you humble in this game. This game will humble you, and then whenever you do have success, you enjoy it that much more because of everything that you've been through. Very rarely do guys have that straight line to the big leagues and succeed. There's a lot of failure in this game and in life, and I'm thankful for it because I think it shapes who you are.
You mentioned becoming a dad at that time. Does it make it that much sweeter when you are on the road for this long stretch and you've got toddler to worry about with laundry? I mean, does it make it a little bit different?
Yeah, I think it adds perspective. I go back to a few weeks ago when as a team and myself, probably the lowest point of the season. We go through a losing streak. I blow a game against Atlanta, and right after the game, my son has no idea what happened. I'm still his hero. After the game, runs up to me, big smile, gives me a hug, and in an instant, it was like, hey, it's just a game. At the end of the day, I get to go be a dad and a husband, and at the end of the day, that's what I'm thankful for the most.
Well, I think your Seager story is probably nicer than Kyle actually delivered it to Jared. But when they brought you in, they talked about having a pitching plan for you. They'd analyzed your stuff. Their pitching lab is pretty, notorious for really getting guys to stress certain things. What did they tell you about your stuff and how it would play? And I know your repertoire has evolved as well, but what did they tell you?
Talking about with Seattle?
Yeah, with Seattle.
That year was a kind of a wild year for me. I had just completely revamped my mechanics during that COVID year, and I think that's what later got me Rule 5 is I changed my mechanics to become a little bit more consistent. My velo during that instructs was way up, which was great. The biggest thing that stuck out with them is they loved my changeup and wanted me to throw it more. And I think dealing with trying to get big league hitters out and then also throwing at that time was probably like my third pitch, trying to make that like my first pitch was like a difficult transition for me, and I think that's what it messed with me a little bit. Not to their fault, I didn't execute, but they wanted me to rely on the changeup, or that was kind of like the big thing that stuck out to them that they really liked, and why they had Rule 5'd me. And then it just didn't help that my velo was the lowest of my career that year, and when that goes down, everything else doesn't play as good. So yeah.